Our Law and Home Affairs Minister K. Shanmugam says the country's death penalty is a serious deterrent for drug traffickers who would otherwise bring in larger amounts. He adds most Singapore residents support the use of the death penalty and agree that it helps prevent serious crimes. These statements come on the back of studies done by the Home Affairs Ministry. Li Ying with this report.
Singapore takes a tough stance on drug trafficking. The death penalty is one tool the country uses to prevent the illicit trade. A study was done with people in the region where most of the arrested traffickers came from. It found that 82% of respondents believe that the death penalty deters people from committing serious crimes in Singapore. Almost the same percentage believe that it deters people from trafficking substantial amounts of drugs into the country.
You remove the death penalty, that number 83% will surely be reduced because there is money to be made. It's a fair assumption to say that more people will traffic drugs into Singapore, more drugs will enter into Singapore, there will be more drug abusers in Singapore, and more Singaporean families and individuals will be harmed if we remove the death penalty, in particular the mandatory death penalty. It's a stark choice for Singaporeans.
Mr. Shanmugam shared that in Singapore, there is very strong support for the death penalty. According to another survey, the preliminary results show that about 2/3 say the mandatory death penalty is the appropriate punishment for drug trafficking. Taking a look at other countries that have taken a softer stance on drugs, Mr. Shanmugam also highlighted how addicts and children are paying the price. He added that the death penalty alone is not sufficient.
You need many different things to keep Singapore relatively free of drugs. Good intelligence, strong enforcement, stiff punishments, rehabilitation for offenders, and deterrence. So I'm telling members, we have to think carefully about this before removing any part of this framework or going soft. And those who advise for removal often compare us with countries that have already lost the drug war. And I'm not sure if they understand the consequences or choose not to understand them.
But Mr. Shanmugam says Singapore's criminal justice system has also evolved to help rehabilitate offenders. These efforts include upskilling inmates so they can secure a stable job upon release, reducing their risk of reoffending. For example, about 750 inmates will be trained in basic digital skills each year under a digital literacy master plan by Yellow Ribbon Singapore.